Hello there everybody and welcome back to another episode of An Ecologist Plays. My name is Will.
And I'm Nick.
And we are playing Småland again. So I'm joined by my lovely wife in our little adventure over here. And we are going to be learning a bit more about nature in Småland. Survive the wilds.
As you can see, we've just built a little house for ourselves. Respawn and cook our mushrooms and all that.
Yeah, so it's a little bit of a home away from home while we are exploring. And this is actually now our base tree. And we are going to go out and look at what we can find, because there is still lots to do. And for that we need lots and lots of wood and fiber and all kinds of things we can find. Really a gorgeous game. And well, Nick and I have been running around in a different game, in a different server that we've got, and learning a little bit more about how to play the game. So hopefully we won't die on screen, at least. Let's just say that we may or may not have died a number of times off screen.
Mostly of bees.
Yes, bees have been our nemesis.
Well, especially to me, because Will runs away.
Alright, now first of all we need to make some better gear, and we also need to at the same time gather a whole bunch of fiber and wood, as I've mentioned. And the best way to do that is just running around and, well, hitting things over the head.
We also need to make a pickaxe.
Yes, we do need a pickaxe in order to actually harvest the stones over here. Now luckily, here we go, we've got some ants.
Ants!
Hello there. Now, not using the best weapon against them here, we actually need a sword, although you have got the sword there, so you are doing quite a bit of damage to them. And look at this, an old camera. Awesome. Oh man, do you remember the days of the big old flash and the big old cameras? Film cameras, it seems. Yeah, it seems like this is still an old film camera.
Are you giving your age away?
Well, more my dad's age than mine. Oh, we can gather the screws over here. Oh, looky, looky, looky.
Oh no.
We've got bull ant over here. They are one of the snap jaw-like ants, which will slam their jaw shut. Basically pull it apart, as you'll see there, and then lunge forward to actually attack.
You hurt me.
Stop hurting my wife, you little one. Oh my word, I did not really do any damage to it at all. I really need to get a sword as well.
So, the way that
blackberries.
ant attacked us now with its open and shut, is that how they usually...
Yes, so those are the bull ants. They come from Australia. They actually, I think this game is, as with a lot of these types of survival games, like Grounded for example, it's set in the US. But there are some snapjaw ants from the United States, but the bulldog ants that we've got over here in the game, they are actually from Australia. So they're not indigenous to America or to the US where this game is set. We are just going to get bitten by this one. Really not doing a lot of damage to it here with our blunt bludgeoning damage one. So you can see as he attacks Nick there, or tried to, it opened up his mouth. Oh, jumping spiders. Okay. The jumping spiders, we did learn that as long as we do not attack it, it will not attack us.
Stress the fact that don't attack them.
Yes.
I died twice.
As did I.
They look cute and fluffy. They are not cute and fluffy.
Well, obviously, if you go and attack something, they are going to defend themselves.
There's another ant.
There's the bulldog
bringing
ant.
it towards you.
Okay, I'm just healing up. Oh, okay, well that one did quite a bit of damage there. I'm just going to bring it out into the open so I can see what I am attacking. Oh, and then again, you can just, you know, destroy them. It's useful to have a sword.
I wanted to get the honey over here. Why would the honey be lying in clumps like this? Is that normal?
I don't think it's actual honey. I do think it's more the...
Honey crumble, they say.
Yeah, I think it's more the pollen that had been gathered by the honeybees and then dropped as they were flying along. But nonetheless, useful to have them.
Oh, look, there's a weaver.
A what? A weaver! Oh, wow! Oh, that's cool. Really fun to find all these random... Oh, okay. Yeah, we've got bees.
Oh, we don't have...
Just run away. We don't have any edge weapons yet. Just run and roll.
My
Do the
enemy.
old roly-poly. Roly-poly, I'm out of stamina. Roly-poly away. Let's keep on rolling. They should eventually de-aggro. There they go. They're turning around. And they have gone. Okay.
There's even a picnic table here. This feels awful lot like Grounded.
Yeah. Now, there are definitely some remnants of other games as well, but I must say that I am very happy to say that this game very much is very different from all other similar survival games that I have played.
It is.
I think it would be best, or it's easiest to summarize this as something between Grounded and Ark, but also very much not.
Yeah, it's still it's something of its own.
Definitely. I think we are heading into nighttime, which means we need to go find safety again, go back to our base, as these ladybugs, which are nice and chill during the daytime, are not so nice and chill during night. Yeah, we are at dusk. Let's head back to our home.
I think it's down this way.
Let's have a look. We can put a... Oh, it's quite a distance away. It is this way. Okay, it's past the picnic table that we've got over here. Let's just run back and try to get there as quickly and as safely as possible. I can see the balloon.
Yes.
Right over there. Okay, almost there. Oh, we've got ghost ants here. They are an invasive... Oh, we are not equipped. I'm not equipped for them. They are an invasive species. A real problem in the US. Oh dear. Okay, run away, Stanley. There's another one there. Oh, this is the nocturnal grasshopper. Oh, I may die.
Goodness.
Are you alright, dear?
Yes, I'm just seeing you being followed by everything.
Yeah.
Including me. Oh my goodness, it's on my heels. It's on my heels.
Just run up. I'll get ready to take us up. Shouldn't be able to get on here.
Ah, it's on here. Go away. Go away.
It's gone. Oh, okay. Oh my word, what a close shave.
Yeah.
What a way to end the nocturnal adventure, and I am out of fibers or bandages.
I got some honey crumble for good bandages.
Yes, as did I, so we should be alright now to finally patch ourselves up properly.
It will be so nice to have the proper weapons.
Yes, hopefully we'll be able to make some now.
And, oh, bull and mandibles. Do you have any?
I should have.
Please tell me you have 2.
I've got 4.
Ah, I can make us some pickaxe.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, I'm dropping it. So those mandibles are really amazing. They snap shut in such a way that they pull apart, and then there are muscles that actually, or there are notches in the mandibles that keep them open, and then as certain muscles actually contract, it slams shut with a force. And with things like trapjaw ants, it's actually able to fling themselves backwards as a result of the jaws slamming shut with so much force.
Please tell me I have some more wood.
No, I've got 0.
Okay.
Just need to... Oh, a storm approaches, of course. It's like, okay, let's go outside. Okay, let's stay inside.
Can't wait for us to be fully equipped with the cooking pot and all that
Oh,
fancy
yes.
things.
Hopefully soon. I mean, the storms here are quite interesting. We're technically... Yeah, it's basically dawn. Yet, it is extremely dark. But this is quite interesting to have to try and find shelter for the storms. And a lot of insects, of course, a lot of smaller invertebrates will easily also just find a little hole, a little crack in the bark, somewhere to hide when the storms roll in.
Lost something.
What did you lose?
My hatchet.
Oh,
Where's my hatchet?
I don't know.
I think maybe I dropped it
Ek
actually.
dink ek het hom.
Really?
I think I've got it. It's on the ground now. I don't know where it happened, but I had your hatchet.
Why are you stealing my stuff?
It's fun.
You always take my stuff.
It's more fun when you do that. The secret ingredient to a fun YouTube video is crime.
Oh. I know what's yours is mine and what mine is yours, but really?
Okay, now I am ready to take on the ants. Come here, ant. This is a harvester ant, and we have encountered a few of these in our other server as well, and they are no match for a nice wooden sword. Now, carpenter ants do form massive colonies. They are quite a pest if you have a wooden home as well, because they can actually hollow it out quite a bit. They are a bit of a pest in that regard. But since we are small, we don't consider them pests. We do, however, consider them something that is going to try and attack us, as is this bulldog ant. Now, the bulldog ants, or the bull ants, as we have had them here, are so called because they have this habit of latching onto prey or predators and then just holding on for dear life. So they have quite a bit of force in their jaws that enables them to actually then hold on and not let go.
Hold on until they die.
No, until the predator goes away or until they feel that the coast is clear.
So what would this be? Moles or
no,
this
will most likely still be ants. Judging from the size, this will be ants' nest excavated by something like these carpenter ants, most likely.
Actually big in comparison to their size.
Yeah, no, quite big.
They're like mansions.
Yeah, these ones are, I believe, in the Camponotus genus, which is it's a very closely related group, although they are in a different subgenus, I think, to what an ant we have in South Africa, commonly referred to as ball biters. Now, I have sat on a nest of ball biting ants. It's not very nice, thankfully. They only bit my knee, so they didn't live up to their name. They only were knee biters. But they have got very, very nasty bites that they can deliver. It was quite a horrible experience. Interesting, but horrible nonetheless.
Is that those tiny black ones?
No, these ones, the ball biters, are quite big, yellow-abdomened ones with massive black heads. They are mostly found in the arid regions in South Africa. They will be feeding on things like termites and other ant species. Quite a lot of insects, although a lot of them also will be feeding on honeydew, which is the nectar-like sugary secretion made by things like aphids. That we also saw that in Grounded with the aphids dropping honeydew. It's basically once they have, because they're drinking the sap of the plants, whenever they then have a lot of sugar in them, they secrete some of the excess in the form of honeydew. And the ants come and collect that, and they basically milk the aphids for that. They tippity-tappity on the backside of the aphids, and then the aphids release a little globule of sugar water, basically, of honeydew.
Sugar poo,
basically. And the ants will then, of course, drink that, and will feed it to each other, take it to the nest, all those types of things. And the ants then also will, of course, protect. What did I hear? Probably the grasshopper. The ants will, of course, then protect the aphids. Okay. Well, then protect the aphids against things like predators that will try to eat the aphids. I was just wondering, why are you attacking the poor little defenseless grasshopper there?
So sometimes on trees like fruit trees, you can see the ants walking on the branches and stuff. Is that because there's aphids on the tree? Yeah, usually on hardwood species, it's not so much the aphids, but it is a closely related bug, the scale insects, which they will be after there. In both cases, the bugs are drinking the sap of the plant, so it's a pest in terms of plants, but it's different species, different groups that you're looking at there. Aphids, though, do function the same. You'll very often find the aphids on things like rose bushes. Yeah. And you'll find the scale insects more on your typical hardwood plants, your harder stemmed plants, not the soft stemmed plants like roses. Although roses also have got relatively hard stems. What have we got here? There's something here. Oh, it's a whole bunch of ants. Hello. Come on, now you can die. Carpenter ants. So, the reason they are called carpenter ants is because they will be very active in wood. So, they make holes in the wood, and as I've mentioned, they are a bit of a pest. If you've got a wooden house, yeah, you need to look out for these guys because they can result in the structural integrity being lowered of your house. That is scary. Right. But we, however, don't really have wooden houses in the game here, but we are going to nonetheless get rid of some of these ants around. Now, we are actually at a different tree from the one we were at, and since you and I are playing together, I assume we're just going to have one tree really as our base? Yes. Since if you look on the map,
we are here by the Elder, and our spawn encampment, our tree encampment, was a little bit more to the northwest. But we can... This is actually the one that we established in initially.
Yeah, I think we should stay here.
Yeah,
for
so...
now, because we are going downwards towards the beach.
Yeah, so off screen, we were here initially. We ended here last time. Then we actually moved to that point because we got lost off screen. As we were trying to build our base. And we are just going to set this to public. And we are going to call down the hot air lift. But the nice thing is that with this game, even though we had that up there as our encampment, now that we are back at this base, we can just claim this one as our base, and the houses we have built, of course, now also will be at the top here. Really a nice touch that you don't have to rebuild everywhere. But if you do want 2 or 3 different houses, you can of course just have 2 or 3 different people playing, and each person can claim a house, and then they can constantly move those bases around.
What's happening? It's a ghost.
It's the ghost. It's Quibus the ghost.
So that grasshopper,
Yes.
would that be any certain type, or do you think it's a generic green?
I think this one is... I'll have to look it up properly, but I think this is more of a generic green grasshopper. It is not a true locust though. That's because, although grasshoppers and locusts technically are the same thing, grasshoppers you'll usually find singly, so one at a time, or solitarily. Here, oh, there's an ant here. And I just missed both of them. I had 2 targets to swing at and I missed both. As I was trying to say before I was rudely interrupted, we've got grasshoppers are usually found singly, whereas locusts are your plague-forming ones, the ones that form these massive swarms. Ah, there we go, sun shining again.
We were lucky to actually witness a swarm like that.
Oh yes, that was really, really amazing. I've been looking my entire life to try and see a swarm like that. And there we go, ants. And then last year when we did a bit of a trip, just after I had finally regained use of my legs again, after having fractured my tibia and fibula during a lecture, because, you know, I was lecturing correctly. We were on a trip and we managed to fly. We actually flew into a whole swarm of, well, locusts, and that was quite amazing to see. Okay, I've got a bottle cap. Sorry?
There were so many of them. It is any... What's phobia for grasshoppers?
Oh yeah, that would probably like be an orthophobia or something along those lines. Although ortho means bones, so maybe just yeah, I don't know. But Orthoptera would be the group that include the locusts and grasshoppers. And so maybe it's an orthopterophobia or something along those lines that you'll have.
Well, check it out.
I knew a guy that was terrified of mantises and of grasshoppers and locusts.
Yeah, you actually get that a lot. People are very scared of grasshoppers.
Yeah. The guy though that was in my class when I was studying nature conservation, he would free handle a taipan, so one of the most venomous snakes in the world, but put a grasshopper or locust into his bag and he would run out the class. He was not very happy when people did that. Let's just say it happened a few times.
How beautiful is this lichen?
Oh yes! Oh wow, this is a typical crustose lichen, meaning a crust forming one. You get all kinds of different types of lichens, but these are all crustose. They're growing flat on the rocks. They're also known as epilithic, I believe is a term, meaning on top of rocks. Epi referring to on top, lithos or lithic referring to rocks. This is a type of lichen growing on top of the rocks here. And as we mentioned last time, lichens being a combination of species, 2 species actually growing together, with a fungus and an algae living together in harmony or in mutualistic relationship here. The fungus would give the body here, you can see kind of like the outline that's made by the body of the fungus, and then the algae in the lichen will be giving it that green color. And because it is green, it just shows that it's got the photosynthetic pigments in there, it's got chlorophyll, and it is able to photosynthesize and then give some of the sugars that it makes during photosynthesis to the fungus that is providing it with a place to live. We've got another bull ant over here, another jumping jack, and I just walked straight into his mandibles because of course I did.
So what is the difference again between lichen and fungus? Is it completely different things?
Yeah, so fungus you'll find, and I'm trying to chop down a tree with a pickaxe, that is not going to work. Fungus is a whole group, a whole kingdom of organisms. Like you have animals and you've got plants, you also have bacteria or protists, you've also got, and then you have fungi as one of the main kingdoms of organisms in the world. Very different from animals and plants, although fungi are closer to animals than they are to plants, because technically fungi contain chitin in their bodies, which you'll find in some of these beetles. The big old Sawyer beetles, for example, contain chitin in their shell. That's more of an animal characteristic than a plant characteristic, yet fungi will have that in their cell walls.
Amazing.
Really quite amazing. But they are a kingdom all on their own. But in the case of lichens, it's technically a mixture of that kingdom, of the fungus kingdom, or the fungi kingdom, and the plantae, or the plant kingdom with the algae. So it's something all on its own that consists of two different kingdoms living together. I just again walked straight into the bull ant mandibles. Again, pulling back there, as you saw there. That is, as it pulls back, the jaws just slot into the correct position, and then the muscles pull it apart and it slams shut. As certain other muscles are tensed, and it then releases the catching mechanism, just slams shut very nicely there. Okay, oh, isn't that just a beautiful sunset?
Do you think... So, these ones that's glowing like this is obviously just for gaming effect, right? The
Yeah, well,
mushrooms.
some fungi do glow. There are some bioluminescent fungi, and I think I'm just gonna lose most of my health. I drop down, and I've got a nocturnal grasshopper behind me. Run towards the oak tree that we, the owl effigy in front here. I am going to lead this thing away. Run up the spiral there, up ahead. You just run past. And then we'll lose it. And I'm going to die by jumping in the water.
Oh no.
Oh, I'm out of the water. I made it. Anyway, oh, it's coming after you. Just keep running.
Oh.
No, it's coming after me. Never mind. Still, nonetheless, keep running. Okay, hopefully it will now leave me alone a bit. I think it has lost interest. The danger music is still playing. Oh, yeah, it's right behind me here. Okay, I'm just gonna keep coming in this direction. Yeah. Okay, where are you, dear?
I'm on top.
You're on top. Okay. Hello there. Yay! Reunited at last. Now let's head home, shall we? Our tree is the one right up ahead there.
Why do we always find ourselves lost in the woods in the dark?
Oh, because it's more exciting that way. Anyway, you were asking about the bioluminescent fungi. So there are some bioluminescent fungi, definitely. I'm not sure whether these ones are actually, and they wouldn't necessarily glow orange like this. But there are quite a few fungi that are bioluminescent, and the theory at least is that they are bioluminescent to attract certain insects to them, to then disperse their spores. Because if something like a moth, for example, were to come to it, it would then bump up against it, in the process get some of its spores stuck on it, and then hopefully also disperse the spores somewhere else. I don't think we were meant to go this way. Oh, maybe. No.
No.
This is again the one that we were lost at earlier.
But look how beautiful. What is all this beautiful light?
So these are two things. There are some fireflies potentially among them, although I can't see a firefly labeled there if we use your sense. But I think the idea is that these are the so-called will-o'-the-wisps, which are mythical glowing orbs that I think attract people to their doom. So the idea is that these lights would often appear at swamps, and then you would follow them because you become enamored by it, you get mesmerized by it, and then you follow it, and then you land up in the bog and you drown and you die, and the will-o'-the-wisp then feeds on your corpse. But
What?
yeah, but there's a good chance that those myths of the Will of the Wisps actually exist. Well, it's not the Will of the Wisps exists, but it's actually based on something that does exist, which is glowing balls of light that can be found, sometimes at least, in swamps, in certain swampy areas. They appear to be big balls of fire, or big glowing balls of ignited swamp gas. So yeah, that's probably where the myth of the Will of the Wisp came from.
Mystical.
It is quite mystical indeed. Now we are just kind of waiting for night to finish.
This tree and specifically this tree.
Yes.
It's us so lost.
Yeah, we have gotten lost twice now, but I think we need... Oh, this, this is where we need to go. Come down and injure yourself slightly. We need to get onto this tree trunk over here. This is the first one we climbed. This is the way we did it. We climb up here and we then follow that trail up there. There's vine. These vines, I think you mentioned it off screen at some point. You were wondering whether these are strangler figs.
Oh yeah.
It's quite possible that this represents some kind of strangler fig, yes.
There's the leaves here.
The leaves.
Yeah.
Over here.
There should be then... Oopsie.
Oh no.
Okay, oh. I dyed it. I'll meet you at the house.
Okay, I'll meet you at the house. I think I need to climb up because I think I missed the actual balloon spot. Well, your little thingamajig is right over here. Your gravestone.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll be back after a note from our sponsors. Okay, we finally made it. Well, I made it up. Now we need to go get your remains.
That's because I was looking at leaves in the dark.
Yes.
And my finger was trigger happy. Accidentally.
Swung yourself off the mushroom there, off the fungus. So thankfully everything that you have on you at that point in time, so your weapon that you've got equipped and then also your armor that you are wearing, that stays with you when you respawn.
That is really nice.
That is nice. You don't respawn or you don't lose everything you had with you. But unfortunately you do need to go and get everything else that you had with you. So we're just going to quickly go and do that.
I love how they did the bark of the tree.
Yes.
Beautiful.
It really does give me the oak tree vibes.
Definitely.
I must say, this world, especially for an early access game, this world is really amazing.
But you do get the strangler fig on oak, eh?
You could get it on technically any tree.
Oh.
The thing is that certain plants, like mistletoe for example, a lot of them will only be found on certain species of plants that they have their roots fusing into them, but that's because they get nourishment from it. This is a strangler fig. What probably happened, and this could be, I can't really see the growth tip properly to know whether it is or isn't, although...
Just be careful of the edge there.
Yeah, I think this may actually be some kind of fig, but there's not one specific species that actually is a strangler fig. There are a whole bunch of different species that it could be. But what happens with the strangler fig is the seed will be dispersed by a bird way up in the canopy, and then it actually starts growing down. You can see some of the vines wrapping around there. Eventually it will have its roots reach the ground, and when it does, it then starts tightening its grip on the tree, in essence strangling it, not necessarily actively trying to kill it. It also doesn't get any nutrients from the tree whatsoever. It just uses it as a place of attachment. But because this, and here's our balloon, so now we know where we need to go. So it uses the tree as an attachment point to eventually, once it actually has roots down at the bottom and in the ground, the vines here actually start thickening, and eventually it forms a trunk that is wrapped around the trunk of this tree. And because this oak tree here now cannot actually thicken, it can't widen at all, it is in essence constricted and it dies eventually. And eventually then, given a few decades, the oak tree that here is still magnificent and standing will actually rot away. And you are left with this strangler fig with a very thick vines, not this thin, straggly vines we've got over here, but thick vines forming a stem, and you can actually see through it because the tree had rotted away that was in there. You can see through the strangler fig. Really quite amazing to see.
It's not the strangler fig that changes its leaves.
No. There is the chameleon vine that is a plant that grows, that's from South America. That plant actually is quite amazing in that it has got 3 little leaflets and it can change the shape of the leaflets, or the size of the leaflets and the orientation to actually mimic the tree that, or the plant that it's living in. I think they can mimic like 20 species or something ridiculous. They can change those 3 leaflets, different orientations, to look like those 20 different species.
Nature is amazing.
Nature is indeed amazing. Alright, but here, as we made it back to our little base safely, we are going to call it a day. So thank you very much everyone for joining us on our little adventure over here in Smalland Survive the Wilds. If you enjoyed the video, please do leave a like, and if you haven't yet, please do subscribe for more content like this and to help the channel grow. Let's see whether we can get to 1,000 subscribers before the end of this year. And of course, if you've got any questions, do feel free to pop it down in the comments below. I will happily answer any questions you have. So from Will
And Nick.
Thank you very much, everyone. Have a wonderful day further, and we will see you all soon.
Bye.
Bye.